Resources Appointment and Equity Committee meeting of Tuesday, July 16th. Roll call, please.
Calling the roll, Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown is absent at the moment. Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones is absent at the moment. Mr. Miller?
Here.
Ms. Conwell?
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. In your packets, is there public comment?
No, Mr. Chair, no one is signed in.
Okay. In your packets, we have the meeting minutes of July 1st. If they're in order, I'll accept the motion.
Aye, so moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you.
Can I make a motion? Can I make a motion to excuse the chair? Even though we don't need it,
You
but
can, I don't do that, but if you wish to, absolutely.
I'll second it.
All absent members, I'll second, that's a motion and second. They're excused, yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Against, okay. 2019-0155.
Resolution number 2019-0155, confirming the county executive's appointment of Prentice Jackson Jr. to serve on the Cuyahoga County Tax Incentive Review Council for an unexpired term ending 12/31/2022.
Who do we have to speak?
Chair Gallagher, we have Prentice Jackson, and we were respectfully requesting you and your team today to consider his resume, which I think you have a copy of, for the appointment to fill the unexpired term replacing Kenneth Surratt to the Tax Incentive Review Council. And a little background, there are more than 30 municipalities in Cuyahoga County using some form of tax incentive for development purposes. And the leader of that committee, Lisa Rocco, is also here to help and support and answer any questions that you may have. Other members on the Tax Incentive Review Council include Greg Huth, Susan Infield, and Lisa Rocco. And Prentice Jackson is here and can also speak to any questions you may have.
Thank you. I see here on your resume that you're an Ohio University Bobcat, as well as a Cornell Bear. Are they the Bears? What are they? The Red? Big Red. Okay. Must have overtaken that since Soviet Union fell. So. But listen, it's an impressive resume, and welcome to the committee.
Thank you, sir.
And the floor is yours, sir.
Good morning, Council Chair and County Council and residents of Cuyahoga County. I thank you for the opportunity to stand before you today. My name is Prentice Jackson Jr., and I am seeking an opportunity to serve on the Tax Incentive Review Board, as suggested by former Deputy Director of Housing and Community Development, Kenneth Surratt. Since graduating from Ohio University in 2003, I have gained valuable experience in banking and mortgage finance that has allowed me to be successful in my career endeavors in assisting with the public with identifying, understanding, and utilizing local and regional resources to advance their economic status. I understand the need for tax incentives such as tax increment financing, TIFs, and/or tax abatement, as not only can it be a driver for economic and community development, but also assist in increasing the attractiveness to invest in opportunity zones and other underutilized areas within the community. I also understand the need for oversight of these incentives to make sure cities are utilizing and developing their areas according to their written contract and the needs of the respective community it serves. Serving on this Tax Incentive Review Council will allow me to engage with community officials and discuss other opportunities Cuyahoga County has to offer its constituents with regard to economic and/or community development and affordable housing for our residents.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Jackson?
I have a question.
Yes, sir. Mr. Miller.
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Jackson, first of all, thank you very much for your willingness to serve and stepping up here. And I see that you have extensive experience in the banking
Yes.
and lending business with multiple institutions.
Yes.
And I would like to hear your perspective on how well or not well we in Cuyahoga County are doing in eliminating racial discrimination in housing and lending.
That's a great question. In our Department of Development, we are utilizing home resources and community development block grant resources to improve affordable housing within the community. We are working with all the municipalities to bring affordable housing to our communities. As far as the racial disparity, that I cannot speak on at the moment. I have no extensive research done at the moment.
Well, Cory Booker, who's running for president, tells this story about how they, how his own parents went in to buy this house, and they got denied for some hokey reasons, and so they had some people they were working with, so they sent in a white family on the sly to buy the same house on the same conditions, and they were accepted, and so they were able to call them to account and make them sell to Corey's parents. My question is, could something like that still happen in Cuyahoga County, or have we gotten beyond that point?
Well, we are engaged in the Community Reinvestment Act, which is tailored specifically to help out impoverished areas and areas where the area median income is lower than the national average. So there are programs that are put in place to try to curb that type of activity, to where there isn't any racial disparity between lending.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions? Yes, ma'am?
I don't have a question for Mr. Prentice, but thank you for your willingness to serve. My question is is the Tax Incentive Review Council now complete? Or is there some-
With confirmation of Mr. Jackson, then it would be complete.
Okay, and how many members again?
There are currently 4 members. Again, they're Gregory Huth, Susan Infeld, Kenneth Surratt, who's now vacated, and Lisa Rocco.
Okay, thank you.
And for the record, Mr. Jones is in attendance. Are there any further questions from Mr. Jackson?
My questions were answered.
Pardon me?
His questions were answered.
Okay. You okay?
I have a question to Ms. Palmer, and it says to when the next meeting is, and whether there's a need to have this legislation passed on second reading suspension.
We would like a second reading suspension if possible. They meet during the summertime, and I think that meeting will be coming up soon, and today. That said, we do have 3 out of the 4 members, but, and if it, I'll defer to Ms. Rocco at this point.
So the wish of the administration is move forward on second reading.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir, yes.
I saved you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hearing no further questions from Mr. Jackson, you sure you want to do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is your
Please,
last
I need
chance.
them.
I would accept a motion to move Resolution 2019-0155 to the full council under second reading suspension.
So moved.
Second.
And do we have any discussion on that? We're good with that? All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Miscellaneous business? We are adjourned.